Yeah, you already know what it is. Lethal Talent 24, dive bombing at you with some Eagles content. Let's go.
Third and 10. It's only a three-man rush. No pressure. Wentz is going to air it out.
Yeah, it's your boy back at you, actually dive bombing at you with some Eagles content and some news, right? Sorry for the redundancy, but it is what it is. Let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have done something that should have been done a long time ago. What is that? That is releasing Mack Hollins. Mack Hollins, the guy that has done nothing at all this year. The same guy that wanted to play on special teams more than he wanted to be a receiver. That guy has been released and has been long overdue. Long overdue. You know what? You know, nobody's asked me what I thought about, Mack Hollins being released. But I'm going to just tell you what I think anyway. I think Mack Hollins should get his monkey backpacking, I want to be on special teams, I don't want to be a receiver ass on his bike. Find a nice little highway. Matter of fact, go down Broad Street and take a right. Then take a left. Then take another right. Then take his ass all the way up to I-95, playing some traffic. And then when his bike gets all nice and dirty, I don't want him to get hurt. But when his bike gets all nice and dirty, I want him to take out that rag. Whatever rag he has. Maybe take it out of his own backpack. I want him to take that rag and shine that bike up real nice. And stick that bike straight up his candy ass. Woo! Bye. Mack Hollins. Mack Hollins named himself out of, well, I'm Mack 10. We gave him this nickname, Mack 10. Then he switched his number. Oh, man, I'm M16. I'm sorry. You cannot name yourself after a gun and you shooting nothing. You shooting blanks. You can't run routes. I mean, you could barely do special teams right, and you could barely block without getting a penalty when you're on the field as a receiver. So you shooting blanks. Matter of fact, no. You're not shooting blanks. Blanks require bullets. So I'm going to tell you this. You've been trying to shoot when your gun's on safety. So disassemble your gun and get your backpacking ass right out of Philadelphia. I don't even want to see you in the NFL no more. That's how much I think of you. That's trash. I don't understand how this dude beat out Mark and Michelle and took Greg Ward's spot, at least on the field. Greg Ward in 2 games has done more than Mack Hollins in since the Falcons game, since week 2? That's sad. And yeah, you can say everything you want about coaching and whatnot, but whatever. No. Greg Ward clearly has more talent than Mack Hollins. Mack Hollins had that one spectacular catch in 2017. A couple of catches in the Panthers game where he got us a first down. That's it. That's it. So you take your ass and go. Because we don't need that shit no more. Moving along, the Eagles actually brought up Sua Opeta, and they signed a defensive tackle, Kelvin Wilkins, I believe. So, Sua Opeta actually, he needed to be coached up when it was during training camp. Looked like Stout was actually getting more and more impressed how he was progressing, and also how he played well in the preseason. He played well. He was great. Well, I won't say great, but he was actually pretty good in run blocking and pass protection. So I'm actually excited for this, because then that means that Sayamalu could be in trouble too. This Eagles team does need a shakeup. You know what I'm saying? It does need a shakeup. I mean, you know, with Sua Opeta being targeted by another, actually he was it was reported that he was being targeted by another team, and that's why they brought him up. You know what I'm saying? Now, so that, you know, in hindsight, it doesn't mean anything about Sayamalu's job, but at least we brought him up, you know, to, you know, protect that kind of interest in his progression with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of cuts are going to be happening. More cuts than this. Mack Hollins is just the beginning. 2017 fourth round pick draft, right? Or in the 2017 draft. All right? Shelton Gibson, gone. Sidney Jones will probably be gone. Derek Barnett's definitely, I mean, he's probably the only pick that's lasted on the team that's actually doing something. You know? Rasul Douglas, bench. I say out of Rasul and Sidney, we all know Rasul has been balling compared to Sidney, but Rasul is too damn slow. And, you know, he's just his own corner. He reminds me of a younger but better Brandon Browner, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, actually Brandon Browner was more physical than Rasul Douglas. So, that's neither here or there. The fact of the matter is this. The Eagles front office, Jeffrey, Howie, those guys have to do better in drafting moving forward. Point blank and period. Now, if there are some people that wondering, well, who's going to take Mack Hollins' spot? If you're really wondering that, then look no further than this guy right here. Now, he will be taking Mack Hollins' spot. All right? So, Mack Hollins lovers, you're just going to have to get used to that. All right? Now, my quarterback, this guy right here. That guy, I'm going to ride for that dude because I ride for the logo. And Desert Eagle 90, you know, said he rides for the logo. I mean, I feel the same way. Wentz has to get better at things. You know, his footwork's got to get a lot better. His touch has got to get a lot better. All these things. I mean, even Burkane Sports was talking about how, you know, Carson Wentz at this point needs to learn how to fail in order to succeed. And, you know, his rookie season was a failure. His 2017 season was supposed to show him how to win. And then regression and more regression. I mean, he looked good in the Dolphins game. And nobody can sit there and say that that game was actually his fault for losing. That was all on the defense and Doug for not trying to keep the lead and keep running Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders could have had over 100 yards easy in that game. But, Jay Ajayi probably could have had 50 yards in that game on top of Miles Sanders' 100 plus. So, I mean, that's on Doug. You can talk about execution all you want. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you stopped trying to do the thing that was helping you win, which was running the ball. So, you know, there's no excuse for that. There's none whatsoever. So, you know, I was watching a clip on Carson Wentz on Get Up with Mike Greenberg, Dan Orlovsky, and, I forget the other two guys. But anyway, Dan Orlovsky again, man. He is defending Wentz, and he has every right. And this is what I'm talking about. So, I mean, I totally agree. Dan Orlovsky, I mean, even though he was pretty much a backup in the league, he played the position. He knows what he's talking about. So take a look at this.
I don't think it's a head coach issue. I think it's as much of a quarterback issue. Carson Wentz just hasn't been the same player. His yards per attempt is 6.5. It's the fourth lowest in the NFL.
I got to do this fight again, huh?
Well,
I got to do this Carson Wentz fight again.
But he's not as big as Swagoo, so it's an easier fight.
Thanks, Greg. I've been working on that.
He should play corner?
No. The point is, he has not been the same player. When he gets the ball down the field, he's not as accurate, he's not as productive. Now, in fairness, Deshaun Jackson's only playing 3 games, Dan, but he has not been the same player. His consistency down the field isn't the same as what it was 2 years ago.
Mike, his receivers stink.
I mean, you want to tell me they hung their whole season on Deshaun Jackson? I mean, it seems that way, but that's a horrendous decision by the front office if that's what happened. If the offense couldn't function without a deep threat, and the only deep threat they could find was the 33-year-old Deshaun Jackson, then that's an institutional issue. This was all we heard about the Eagles all offseason. All you heard from around the league, people who looked at the team, this is a stacked roster. This might be the deepest roster in the league, et cetera, et cetera. Didn't turn out to be that. And as you point out,
but that goes to an argument of why
it goes beyond that as well.
But Carson Wentz should carry some of those injuries.
I think everybody carries this.
Can I just say one thing? I'm sorry, Big, but I feel like we've had the Carson Wentz conversation a million times. An NFL head coach whose team had absolutely everything hanging in the balance just went on the radio and said, the Dolphins wanted it more than we did.
And
that's everybody's problem.
Dan Orlovsky has been saying the same thing. I mean, he's making arguments like this fan base makes arguments whenever we don't agree with each other. We be like, really? Really? So, I mean, you know, more great stuff from Dan Orlovsky, man. I like that guy. I like his mind. I like how he analyzes and makes his case for why he thinks that, Carson Wentz is not getting the help that he needs. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious. It's obvious. You have to catch the damn ball. That's what you get paid to do. Zach Ertz, Nelson Aguilar, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, Alshon Jeffrey. That's what they all get paid to do. Catch the damn ball. You got people that don't even play the position catching more balls than you. How the hell you gonna let a kicker out catch you, Zach Ertz? Man, y'all better get this stuff together and quit playing. That's all I got to say, man. And about that. Now, I mean, the last thing I'm gonna say is this: when you got, and of course I touched on earlier about Mark and Michelle and Greg Ward, and they outplayed Mack Hollins. You had people saying this stuff, right? I mean, D Biggie even said it. You know what I'm saying? And people thought he was crazy. So for any of those Mack Hollins fans out there, you really looking sad right now. And that's okay. I understand he was your one of your favorite players for one damn season. I know. Something fell in the background. They couldn't believe that shit. But I'm telling you, man, just Mack Hollins had to go. Mack Hollins did not deserve to be on this team, especially he didn't play a damn snap last season. He was hurt from training camp all the way through 2018 season. And he couldn't show up for us this year. So rest in peace, Mack Hollins, and let another player step up in his place. So, yep. And that's all I got to say. You already know what it is. Go Birds. EAGLES, Eagles. And that's what's up. You guys take it easy. Peace.